Am I the asshole for not convincing my daughter to give bone marrow to her brother? Long story short, my ex-wife and I were married for 7 years. We split up because she had mental health issues that led her to repeatedly cheat on me with a coworker. I got full custody of our daughter because my ex-wife tried to kidnap her and drive into a ditch whilst intoxicated. My ex-wife has never paid the court-mandated child support and I never pursued it because I make a significant amount of money at my job and she is unemployed. We split 11 years ago and our daughter is now 17. My ex-wife made no attempt to stay in contact. She got with the guy she had been seeing and they had a son together shortly after we divorced. About 3 months ago my ex-wife contacted me to say that my daughter wasn't actually mine. She was the product of the affair with the guy she is now married to and that my daughter needed to donate bone marrow to her brother. I refused. She contacted our daughter by showing up at school and when our daughter refused to talk to her, she is unhappy that after all this time her mum only shows up when she wants something. My ex-wife escalated to screaming at her about being ungrateful for being alive. Our daughter came home very upset and broke down about how upset she was that her mum never reached out to her after the split and how now the only reason she's contacted us is because she needs something. As a result of how upset she was, I've gotten legal advice. My ex-wife is having a meltdown over Facebook because I force our daughter to talk to her or donate bone marrow. Am I the asshole here? Not the asshole. I doubt everything your ex-wife said about your daughter not being yours. I'd get a DNA test just to shut her TF up, because I don't believe her if she's half siblings with the boy. She might not even be match is even high chance. Even if they are full siblings it's 25% chance that they match. Anyway, it's her body and if she doesn't want to donate and go through all that she doesn't have to. Your ex-wife has no right to tell her what to do with her body, just like you have no right to force her to donate.
Not the asshole. Pretty sure there are laws around forcing blood donation. It's her body and her choice. As her parent it's your job to support that. You are being a good dad by protecting her body autonomy.
Not the asshole. 1. Fuck a parent who only comes around when they need something. 2. Being blood related does not guarantee a donor match. 3. Nobody can force anyone to give any body part. The donor has to give informed consent and, at 17, she can refuse privately to the doctor without anyone else finding out why she was an incompatible donor. In the US at least. 4. Children are not an insurance policy, retirement plan, or health plan. You made the kid, you are responsible for his or her care. If another kid wants to donate, by all means, but I don't think it's even appropriate to ask someone so young, let alone throw a guilt trip at them.
Not the asshole. Your daughter still has bodily autonomy and there's no guarantee she would even be a match. She's also 17 and so more than old enough to decide what relationship she has with her mother. You are not the asshole for supporting your daughter and her decision.
Not the asshole. You should keep your daughter as far away from such an abusive person as possible. She's old enough to understand what is happening, so what you can do is tell her about what the situation with her brother is and explain the marrow transplant. She can then decide on her own what she would like to do, or better yet you can discuss it together what she feels best about. After the conversation she can put her feeling into writing and send a letter to her mom explaining her reasoning so there is no further misunderstandings. Do not let her talk to her mom directly. Emotional abuse seems to be on the menu.
Not the asshole. Ungrateful for being alive, after you saved your child from her driving both of them off a cliff or what? You should look into a restraining order, get a lawyer and protect your child. You are the father on paper, but listen to your lawyer. This is too big for Reddit.
Not the asshole. Donating nun marrow would be a nice thing to do, but it's her decision. 17 is more than old enough to make her own choices. It would be wrong for your ex or you to put pressure on her to donate. Secondly, good on you for not rising to the bait about your daughter's paternity.
Can you get a restraining order? Maybe get some legal advice.
Not the asshole. Sounds like your daughter is a very smart girl. She can decide for herself and you just keep supporting her the way you have been.
Not the asshole. But you could talk to your daughter about donating marrow to save another person's life. I'm signed up to the registry, and ready to save the life of anyone in the world who might benefit. It's not the fault of the dying child, and it won't kill your daughter, so please consider talking to her about the possibility of saving a life. But she probably won't match anyway.
This kind of reminds me of the movie where the parents have two kids, boy and girl. The girl is very, very sick, so she decides to have another, designer child to have as a donor. Anyway, the designer child decides to sue her parents' mother for bodily autonomy and emancipation. I think. Never actually saw it, want to though.
Not the asshole, not even close. You might want to talk to your daughter about your ex's allegations though. Make sure she know you're her dad no matter what mum says.
YWBTA if you pressured your daughter to donate. I hope you're only asking to soothe your conscience and aren't remotely considering this. Pressuring anyone into a serious medical procedure makes you an asshole, especially when you're a parent and an authority figure. Tell the ex to back off or you'll take every dime she has in back child support. Not the asshole. Yes, your daughter's bone marrow might save the life of her sibling, and it's the right thing to do, but your daughter is abducted by this woman, and her mental well-being is something you are responsible for.
This same story popped up earlier without the bone marrow part. Children are not spare parts factories. Respect her, no. And be thankful for it, yes.
Not the asshole, but maybe this sub isn't a place for this discussion. Maybe post in r relationship_advice and r legal advice. I believe I have come across similar posts that mirror your situation in these subs.
This is identical to a story that was just posted yesterday. People really don't have imaginations, huh?
Isn't this exactly the same as the other one except now they added bone marrow transplant into the mix?
This sounds exactly like a story I read on here yesterday, minus the bone marrow and change the gender of the child.
This sounds almost exactly like that other post.
NTA, but I would pursue that back child support and cripple her finances. Your daughter is not a raincoat that her mother can throw in a closet till she needs it. Also inform the school about the mother.
Not the asshole. It's entirely her choice to make, and your ex was clearly in the wrong for making a confrontation out of it. The claim she isn't yours sounds dubious as well. I guess it could be true, but it sounds like a lie to build her case too.
NTA.
Not the asshole. Bone marrow transplants are extremely invasive, painful, and the recovery is long. You don't just do it haphazardly.
Not the asshole. I'd be speaking with your lawyer and ask for either a cease and desist letter or a restraining order against her so that your daughter won't be harassed anymore. I'd get a DNA test done for both peace of mind and to be able to use that against your ex if need be. As for your daughter, she owes no one her bone marrow and nobody can force her to give it up either. In the meantime, if you don't have any and it's possible to do so, get security cameras around your house, and should the ex turn up, just call the police and have her trespassed. Good luck. Not the asshole. I'm not sure if she's biologically your daughter, could be a lie, but she's your daughter. Also, you can't just give bone marrow, you have to be tested for compatibility and stuff first, as I understand it. That said, I'm not a doctor. I get this could be seen as taking things between you and your ex out on this other kid, but I don't think that's what's happening.
Not the asshole. Her body, her choice.
Not the asshole. Have you ever heard of the book, My Sister's Keeper? It's a story about how parents birthed a daughter specifically to be spare parts for their sick daughter, and it's awful how the parents justify it. I immediately thought of that story when I read this post.
How exactly does a mental health issue cause her to repeatedly cheat on you with a coworker? Damn it, honey, did you cheat on me again? Yeah, but it's not my fault. Ya know, mental health issue and all. Edit. Oh, and to be clear, definitely not the asshole. And she's definitely your daughter, regardless of what mum says.
NTA. And threaten her with forcing her to pay child support if she does this again.
Not the asshole. I'm on the bone marrow donation list. I know if there ever a match I could save someone's life. No matter how you feel about this horrible woman, there is someone who may die if a match is not found. Good luck to you and your daughter. She's lucky to have you. Not the asshole. Make sure the school knows to call the police and your daughter knows to call the police if she shows up. Every single time. No matter what she says.
Info: have you tried to get your daughter in counseling about this? She's going to need it. And she might eventually regret not trying to donate bone marrow to her brother, who's innocent in all this.
Not the asshole. Sorry you guys have to deal with that crazy.
Not the asshole. I have donated bone marrow, and it's actually not as easy as it might sound, even when they get the bone marrow through blood and not from an actual bone. For a week before the procedure, I had a nurse come to my house each morning and evening to give me a hormone shot. Then, it actually took 2 days to get enough bone marrow from my blood. When donating bone marrow this way, the patient is completely immobilized, as each arm has a pretty big needle in so that the blood can go out of one arm, through a machine that extracts the bone marrow, then back into the other arm. It's also very tiring. I totally understand that both you and your daughter do not want your daughter to donate bone marrow to a stranger, which is what your ex-wife's son is to your daughter.
Not the asshole, but have a conversation with your daughter. At least see if she's a match first and go from there. Bone marrow donation is no longer a highly painful procedure as there have been a lot of advances since the old method of a needle to the femur. Reason being is there is a child involved in this, who really hasn't done anything. I'm sure if your daughter is a match there's a way she could donate where her mother agrees to leave her alone. IDK neither one of you is an asshole either way, I would just consider helping the child out if possible.
Not the asshole.
Not the asshole. How could you possibly be the asshole here? Your wife reeks of entitlement. Heck, I am disgusted by her. Please protect your daughter at all costs. Also, not the asshole.
You're kidding, right? This is a joke. Not the asshole. Not even close.
You shouldn't force anyone to become a donor of body parts. This is Organ Donation Ethics 101. As for your daughter not talking to her, bold of her mother to assume that anybody would want to talk to her, when she has no communication with them and only reaches to them to benefit, and she has previously tried to kill the specific person SMH. Her son is in an unfortunate situation, but his mother's behavior to you and his sister did him no favors. Not the asshole, and I don't know why you need to be a Facebook friend with her. Other people would already have proceeded with a restraining order to limit contact.
Not the asshole. Get a restraining order and sue for back child support. They'll garnish her wages and maybe even the wages of her spouse. Then you'll have some leverage to get her to stay away.
Not the asshole. So there's so much wrong here. First off, you can't force someone to donate anything. It has to be totally voluntary. And another thing, you can't just give bone marrow. Even if your daughter decided to give the bone marrow, she has to be tested to see if she's even a match. And then it's not even set in stone if she is one. It's not like giving blood. Bone marrow can only survive so long before being no good. Your ex clearly needs to do research before trying to force your daughter to donate.
Not the asshole. Your ex is disrespecting your daughter's bodily autonomy and is doubly the asshole because she expects you to as well.
Info, can you get a restraining order against her mom? I mean, it sounds like she can be a threat, saying such horrible things about her daughter on SM. Jesus. But, there may be a way to donate, if she is even a match, without family contact. Strangers do it all of the time. Again, you don't even know if she is a match yet. Also, not the asshole.
Not the asshole, but sounds like you're a damn good dad. Thank goodness your daughter has you. Heart.
Not the asshole. Please report on ex-wife and so-called mom for harassment.
Not the asshole. Forcing someone to donate their parts of their body is not okay. Your daughter is old enough to make the decisions about seeing her mom and about the choice to get tested to see if she's a match. Even if your daughter was a full sibling to your ex's son, there's still only a 25% chance. But that's really irrelevant. Daughter does not want to do it, so that's the end of the discussion.
I just want to say, I got mental health issues and never cheated on my partner. That be on her, not her mental health.